back with another episode of Yungskullent/media. We're out here right now in the mining town of Linden, that's region 10, the hilly and sand region, of Guyana. My name is Antwan Thompson, better known as DJ Antwan, better known as Antwan, however you see me and know me. I have the privilege today, and I ran into someone, and the privilege is mine to have this interview done with none other than Mr. Jamal Alexander, aka J Lyrics, aka CodeR3. There's a whole lot of AKAs in the music industry, right? But he's no other than the founder of CodeR3drecords. The guy that's been creating so much controversy within the Guyanese music production level or the entertainment thus far, where it comes of artists being controversy towards other artists and these kind of things. So this is the guy behind the scene. This is the guy who makes the song so unique in the streets when you hear certain artists. I'm gonna get into some names later on in the program. So Mr. Jamal, first thing I want to ask you is, or should I say, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said before, my name is Jamal Alexander. I came from Grove, which is on the East Bank, Georgetown. I'm 25. Love music.
Love music. That's good,
Yeah.
From then time to now, I want to ask you, what inspired you, or who inspired you to, say, hey, I want to become a musician?
All right. When I came up and started living in Linden, early part 2012, my sister's a vocalist.
She's a vocalist.
And she started singing this band called Temperature. And, being around her, following her practice, hearing she sing, hearing the band play, why she sing, I used to say, bro, these instruments, her vocals, so sweet.
They calling
watching her sing, and them guys playing the instruments. Oh, I gotta start music.
So, when exactly did you start it now? You used to go around your sister, you heard the keys, the notes, you liked it. When exactly did you start, as an individual, doing music?
Same 2012. I started 2012. That delayed part.
2012.
2012. Because in the competition, Chinese were in the competition. They so come on our competition, and he went down and get a song recorded. Ken the beat maker, they get a bill and everything. So he came back and he was telling me, you don't like how the song sounds. So I decided, I said, we're gonna record it back. And he said, alright, good, we do it. Record it back. From there, when he recorded, I'm from the center, we start putting the line there. We mix it and we release it. You understand what I'm saying? From there, that's when the success started.
So that actually inspired you to say, yo, I should step to the music a little bit more. So I should say that time that you decided to say, yo, I'm gonna make a career out of music.
Well, after that, we had a group at Leicester, right in the called Divine Entertainment. And, that would consist of other artists under Divine Entertainment. This is Chinese, Manila, Zan, and Diana Chapman also. I can't remember. Working with these
senior people at your time.
Especially Chinese and Diana Chapman. Also living, they saw the true potential in me and said, you know what, Jay, you should start producing music. And you have the potential to produce music, and you could be the producer, we could be the artist. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it started. And I decided, you know what, I can try this and make this my career.
So, could you or would you list a few artists, probably presently working with, from, I should say locally, regionally, and probably internationally, if there's any? Can you list a few artists?
All day, trust me.
Yeah?
But I work with artists.
A lot of artists.
Especially from Ghana.
So, who have you worked with, locally?
Alright. We get Diana Chapman, Davey Marley, Murphy, Antwan, yourself, Yungskullent, Lady Colwell, Brandon Arden.
Wow. That's a lot. So, alright. Don't name a few, like, or even if it's one or two that you've worked with, regionally, like within the Caribbean, Trinidad, Barbados.
2018.
Yeah.
I went to Trinidad and I worked around Marshall, Destro.
Yeah, the great Marshall
Yeah,
Montana.
name it. I was actually co-producing.
Co-producing
Yeah.
for Marshall and Destro.
Marshall, Static Studio, big up Static.
So, did songs come out from that? From that co-producing?
Yeah, also
Did the
I was
projects
a co-producer for Pick Up Something.
pick up something?
Yeah,
Anything?
co-producer.
Jesus Christ, yo.
Yeah, bro.
If you don't know, right, I'm DJ Antwan, and that's a song when Anissa played that on the strip. Yo, the place is rearranged, right? To know that Mr. J Lyrics or Guyanese Bread, is co-producing a project of that magnitude, it tells a lot about Guyanese talent and Guyanese ability, because I always say, man, we're the gems and we're not being found here. That's how I put Guyanese talent, from J Lyrics. Now, I want to ask you a question. From a producer to an aspiring artist, in a nutshell, what do you think about Guyana's music industry? What do you think about it?
Well, first I must say, Guyana music industry have great potential. Yeah. But the thing is that we gotta start from ourselves.
Yeah.
Believing in ourselves and start, believing our own.
That's the first step. You gotta believe in yourself. You heard it. You gotta believe in yourself. So what is your take on it? Do you think we can make something out of it?
Yeah, once we believe in ourselves and believe in the industry and start working together, you see, I saw the government get something against one Guyana. You understand? If we could continue that pace and work together, you understand? The music industry could grow. Things could be better.
I want to say shout out to the government, because I'm hearing of this. In a nutshell, they're doing things for artists, and this is something that wasn't recognized that much. So I would like to see more from the Minister of Sports, Youth and Culture, and more from the ministries. Also I would like to see some musician permits, like for musicians, because it should give us that leisure of traveling, to see places, get new ideas for our projects.
Actually, I saw they have an interview with a few artists that was representing the copyrights. So the government working. They're working.
Okay,
They're investing.
That's good to know.
And they're working.
Okay, that's good to know. So big ups to the government. Shout out to Mr. Excellency yourself, Shout out to our president, sir. We do pray that you do great things for this nation, We're now an oil producing nation, and we should make it from that third world to even first world standards, because we're a small country and we got a lot of resources, I think. So kudos to the government for what they're doing, and we're looking forward to more great things coming from the government. So Jamal, do you think that at some point in time, the Guyanese music industry will take off and reach the caliber of like the Trinidad music we're getting, or the Jamaican music we're getting, or the foreign music that we're getting, let's say internationally, in terms of the US, the UK, like the Afro beats? Do you think the Guyanese music will one day elevate to that level?
Yes, as I said before, we have that potential.
Yeah.
So the artists just have to keep coming, the game, and the producers also. Quality. Yeah. Quality is a big thing right now in the industry.
Yeah.
So once the artists give the 70%, we're going to protect it.
Okay. So the producers is gonna do their part. The artists just need to come and deliver.
Correct.
And I heard this from a lot of artists. They say delivery on the track is one of the best things, because the better you deliver, the better the producer gets.
Correct. On that note, you see a lot of times we get blamed.
Yeah.
Especially when we're telling you, oh, sing like this, work on your vocal, you know.
Yeah.
Some artists can take it personal, you understand? As a man, you can't tell me from you. And some artists, you know, you allow them, when you allow them now, and they come and sing just so they believe in me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Why this thing makes them master properly, and that's not it.
Failing to realize that it's an input from both worlds, you know, to make this.
You know, people come and think that we're magicians. They say we can just create magic. So when you come and sing, we can make you sound like Celine Dion.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
So,
right.
Speaking about that, you know, from time to time you might have worked with artists, you might have worked with producers like yourself. Has there ever been a conflict in some part of your life because of music? You know, whether it's from an artist or whether it's from a producer like yourself within the industry. Have you ever got into like a conflict? Because we're talking about people, you know, trying to throw the blame game when they don't sound the way they wish to sound. Alright? So has there been any conflict within your journey?
Man, if you're good at thing, you don't live with. You don't dream music, you understand? You must get some sort of conflict between you when you're artists, you understand? But when it comes to producers, no producers like that. You know,
Not a problem.
at least not knowing to me, I never know that means some producers for they're cool.
Yeah.
You understand?
So moving on. This one is kind of big. I'm gonna say this is one of the biggest questions today, right? Word on the street. I'm gonna tell you what's the word on the street, right? The word on the street is that Mr. Jamal, aka J Lyrics, out of CodeR3 Studios, that's responsible for guys like Mafi, Davey Marley, myself, but you guys don't know me yet. But the word on the street is Jay, you know, mano o mano. We're not talking this because I'm here, or I'm not saying this because I'm here and, you know, I want to give you props, right? I'm not even speaking on my behalf. I'm speaking on the streets, the fans, most of the artists that you work with. They say you have the best quality. So I'm going to put it in this way, right? There's word on the street that you are the best or one of the best today. So I want to hear this from you. How do you rate yourself here in the industry, knowing that there's guys like AJ, there's guys like, you know, you name the few. There's guys like Vision, there's guys like Cross Colors, you know. So how do you see yourself? Word on the street is that you're the best, right? If not one of the best. So how do you take that?
I just see myself great.
Just see yourself great.
Just see myself great.
Yeah. So every wiggle out to the scene.
I really wiggle out, but you know, the streets at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But how I see myself great. I keep growing.
So if the streets say you is the best, who you say?
As I said, I am great.
Oh no. Alright. It's like putting you between a rock and a hard place. Right? And I respect though, because a lot of people take props.
Correct.
A lot of people jump out, yo, I'm the best. Best is yet to come. You know, sometimes
I don't want to put myself as I am the best, because I have so much producers right now producing
doing
good
music.
music.
Yeah.
You understand? So I cannot put myself as, you know, CodeR3 is the best.
It shows maturity, it shows humbleness. You know, I don't want to run in, because a lot of guys be taking props just like that. Yo, I'm the best. I'm no remorse. Don't even say, yo, my producer was the best, because without my producer,
Correct.
you know, some artists be jumping out round. I telling you straight, you know, from a DJ.
I have to remember.
Good. We started here and we can't get bigger than here, you know. So respect on that, because a lot of guys would have jumped out. He's the best in the street, you know. And yo, that's not the way to be taking this, right? My next question, right? There's presently a feud between CodeR3 artists and most known AJ artist, right? So for about, let's say, what, a year and a half now?
Yeah.
2 years now? Because you guys been working.
The war still on. You know.
The war still on. So like when the war start, how long you would say the war start?
I mean, just so I produced it and you know, my figure makers, yo, it's war time, bro.
My picala says war time.
Yeah, he said. So I say, you know what?
War time.
War time, you know. Anything is anything, he said.
So, it's a controversial part of the world now in terms of clashing, you know, because it's not just the artists clashing, you know.
Correct.
It's the studios banging at it because you gotta release a track and then HJ gotta come up with something, and then HJ might release something, then you gonna holler back. So that's the image of what's happening, right? I don't want you to take sides when it comes to the studios and the artists. Now, you're Code Red, there's AJ. Most commonly, the war is between Azarel, Mafi, right? Well, one people is jump up, you know, but they ain't not that relevant.
Correct.
Right? Azarel, Mafi is be a back and forth. Sometimes Mafi drop 3 songs, Azarel drop back at 2. You know the thing.
Right.
Right? So, in terms of the war, and the 2 artists that be known for going at it, you know, for this era, that's Mafi and Azarel. Who would you say is leading? You know, not taking sides in the war. Who would you say is leading the clash?
Answer the question.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we need loyalty.
Yeah.
I would not, you know, answer that question. But at the end of the day, from the working with CodeR, I would obviously rep for my artists, put my loyalty
Towards your
to
artists.
my artists.
Big ups, you know, fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, but all them guys doing the thing, them guys,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, them man great. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody doing the thing.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know. You're in Guyana, you're watching Yungskullent/media. It's a new journalist outbreak. That's what's gonna happen in Guyana. We're gonna take over, we're gonna bring you proper information about the artists, about Guyana's lifestyle, about, you know, stuff like that. I wanna say shout out to Pier 1. Yes, I play Pier 1. If you need to book Pier 1, just holler at me, holler at my brother John Q, and you know, we can get that going. To the fans, if you just tuned in or you're now seeing what's happening here in this interview, I'm here with Jamal Alexander, none other than Mr. Code Red himself, Mr. J Lyrics himself, you know. So for artists and producers and people who would like to, you know, come on board and work, get their songs done and these kind of things, you know, Jamal is a great start. This is a guy that could take you from one place to another, okay? So I got 2 more questions for you, Jamal, if that's not too.
Oh,
I heard, because I'm not a full-out journalist, but you know, the streets be talking, people be talking,
right.
you know. I heard you had been awarded twice in the music industry for heights that you have met and, you know, came out on top. What was those awards about, and you know, what category or what kind of awards did you win, and where and when, and you know, for the projects that you have done to acquire that award?
In a nutshell, basically, last year and the year before the last, I was awarded Best Producer
Of the year?
the year.
Wow.
Twice.
Yeah. Who holds this presentation?
I can't remember. I think it's Divine Entertainment.
Divine Entertainment. Wow, it's good to know that there's people in Guyana that is doing these kind of things to motivate producers and motivate artists, you know?
When you look at you awarded, you just feel real motivated. You know what? This is what you're doing this for.
Yeah, you're making a step. It's not a Grammy yet. You heard me yet, right? It's a local Grammy. Shout out to Divine Entertainment, you know, and we're looking forward to big producers, and not just producers, I mean people who has the entertainment sector on lock. Like for instance HJ and the different media houses, you know, to start looking into stuff like this. You know, looking into producers, looking into artists, and have some kind of ceremony at the end of the year. You know, all the artists can come, they can be nominated and stuff like that. Okay, so just a little, you know, pick up my brains and watch that thing. My very last question, right?
Correct.
My very last question. I heard you make nothing into something or something out of nothing, because I'm gonna say this right now. When I first came in the studio, I'd be like, Jay, this is it? He'd be like, yeah, brother, this is what making my fee, and these artists out there every Sunday. And trust me, I was pretty amazed. So, in a nutshell, what is that? How did you know?
Basically, I'm a very humble producer. Very humble control.
Yeah.
And you know, where I started was terrible. But if I move in my mouse, take a 2 second before my mouse move.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Patience.
To start from nothing. And you know, I realized this music is not what you have. You understand what I'm saying? Can you get big fancy setup? I don't know if you use it.
Yeah.
You understand? People like me will come and make magic. If you understand, happen out to that. Anyway, so I trained myself to work under certain circumstances, you know, like
Limited resources.
You know, and from there I find myself, this is what given me some. You know, I could invest my money in better equipment and new stuff, but I said, man, this is what given me myself. I comfortable with this.
Comfortable.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. So
The near future, I will, you know,
upgrade,
and you know, get.
yeah,
You know,
as you progress, you know, you make it a little more
right now.
comfortable. Artists can come sit.
The next studio,
see.
I moved out from the recent studio that I went in. I built my house. You understand? So I'm trying to get the studio in the house right now. So you know, yeah.
I don't know if it's too much. I said that was my last question. But for the fans, right? I have one more request. For the fans. For the fans. Not for me,
Right.
not for Yungskullent ENT. By the way, big up Yungskull and you know the entire west side.
Big up.
Shout out to everybody in Georgetown. Big ups to Linden because we're here. Shout out to Borbies. You know, the 10
Correct,
administrative regions, we want to say shout out to you. This is Yungskullent ENT/media. We're going to keep bringing content like this. You know, who knows? The next interview might be with Davey Marley. Can you set that up?
Yeah, man.
Good. So my last request on behalf of the fans, right? Because remember that about us. Can you play us a track right now that you recently built? You know, for the fans.
Right.
Right?
CodeR3drecords.